Yeah, I mean, they're a really, really, really difficult team to defend, and I thought our defensive effort was phenomenal. You know, they had three guys that we were really worried about, and that being number 23 Aldridge and you know, Grady. Those two guys in particular, and then Gudmundsson. And I thought that defensively, probably as good as defensive effort as we've had because they shoot the ball so well. And you know, people thought that they were going to put a lot of points on the board based on what they've averaged in the first two games, and they haven't turned the ball over at all. 7 turnovers in 2 games, and we had, you know, caused 15 turnovers tonight. So great defensive effort. Our switching was really, really good. Obviously, we made a calculated decision to start a different lineup where we were all 6'7" and we could switch things. You know, other than Lindsey being 6'4" or whatever. And then you know, it just goes to show you every game's got a different theme. And Darian Williams' 8 minutes could not have been any more valuable. Came in, almost got a steal for a dunk. Then a couple seconds later, did get a steal for a dunk. And I thought he gave us a great lift. And then Josh Hall, we did not run one play for him at Pacific, and he scored whatever, 27 or whatever it was. And then tonight, we did not run one play for Josh, and he goes 6 of 7 and 5 of 6 for 3 for 17 points. And the way that he's developed as a player is absolutely remarkable, and he's doing it all off the bench for us. So, and then obviously Cody and Caleb played really, really well as well. Yeah, I just thought our switching and hand in the shooter's eyes, you know, I thought was phenomenal, and you know, they're hard to guard because they run a lot of curl action, and then one guy will try to get a backdoor, and then the other guy will pop. And I thought that Coach Ruda did a phenomenal job on his scouting preparation, getting us ready. We had a lot of breakdown drills, and our guys are really smart. They're a veteran group, and like I said, I thought they defended them as, you know, certainly we watched tape from this year and then last year, and thought our guys really were locked in and did a great job switching. Yeah, I think that we're a better defensive team for sure than last year. We're a more competitive team. I don't know what will happen the rest of the year, but I know that that locker room is the most competitive group of guys that we've had in the 2.5 years that I've been at Nevada.
With Josh Hall, what do you think his confidence level is like right now with his shooting?
I mean, right now he's in fuego. I mean, he's hot and he's feeling it, and we're letting him shoot it when he's open, you know. And I mean, he's in a groove and feeling really good about how he's playing.
What do you talk about player development? What has he done to work towards getting where he is right now?
Well, you can, you know, be assured that when we're not playing a game, and he's not in class, whether it's in the morning or at night, he's shooting, and his work ethic. And, you know, the interesting thing is in Costa Rica, you know, he had a great freshman year, obviously, and then we go to Costa Rica, and he produced more than anybody in Costa Rica in 5 games. And, you know, you talk about a guy that he hasn't asked to start. We know that everybody would like to start, but he gets a chance to, as a sophomore, to watch the flow of the game, and he plays 4 positions for us. And you know, believe it or not, as a sophomore, he's a calming influence for me, looking at him in huddles, and he never panics. He's always got an expression about himself that he's in control, and he's got great maturity for his age. I mean, that was the message at halftime, was we were going to isolate and take that thing to the cup. And I think we did. We ran 9 straight isolations and tried to find mismatches. We settled way too much in the first half, which we were, at least I was a little bit worried about that because we've shot the ball from 3 so well. And you know, tonight we shot it great from 3 as well. I thought we just were a little bit more selective in the second half. Nope, Darian played great, and Darian's earned a spot. And so Elijah's got to come to work tomorrow and get it back. And then when you get minutes, you got to produce. I mean, we have a deep team, and you know, it's about production. And we went with a small lineup, and you know, it worked out well. And Darian's defense and his activity is why he was in the rotation ahead of Elijah. We just talked about, you know, no fastballs and, you know, trying to get deflections. Cody had 9 deflections alone. So I thought just our length and our active hands and you know, was bothersome for them. Yeah, no, I mean, we've played. You know, we feel like Idaho's a really good team, and they're gonna win a lot of games in their conference. Certainly, 2 of the best mid majors. You know, I mean, we all heard Jay Billis say that Davidson was like the surprise mid major. He said it yesterday. So you know, we're going toe to toe. Everybody back east can talk about Davidson and Rhode Island, and they'll keep talking about them, which is cool. But the Wolfpack are right there in the same sentence, and we've proven that. So, you know, we got to go play another road game. You look at those teams in the 30 to 80 range. Not a lot of them are playing road games like we are, and we're not playing Division II teams. We're not playing teams in the 300s. We're playing really good teams. We've scheduled because we thought it would be unfair to our fans and unfair to our players not to challenge them. And that's what we have, a challenging schedule. No matter who you play on the road, it's a challenge. And Rory and I talked about it before the game, even that not to have a really good schedule with this team would be unfair. Is this true? That's great. We'd like a lot of pictures of that. Really hard to win there. They always have great crowds. Always. Last time we were there, we lost on a last-second buzzer beater. Point guard went the length of the floor with 3 seconds to go. Their crowd's vocal, energetic, really into it. It's a Friday night game. We expect them to have a great crowd. They're athletic. They're really well coached. Aron does a great job. I've known him for a really long time. We're good friends. He studies his opponents. He puts together a great game plan. So it's going to be a challenge. But, you know, the one thing about our team is they have a quiet confidence, but yet they're really alert and in tune with not underestimating any player on another team or who we're playing. And we know we're going to have to play as good as we played any game this year to win in Hawaii, because it is, anybody will tell you, it's a tough place to win. We're going to go tomorrow morning. Yep, get in tomorrow night. Have a little practice tomorrow night. Thanks, you guys.
It's a great feeling. Our main goals were to, start, wanted to win every non-conference game that we could. So, we're just going on the right track right now and starting off 5-0 and beating these 2 the great teams we've beaten so far. It's a great feeling. Sometimes it depends on the day. 2 or 3 times out the day I would shoot, but I would say about 200 to 300 makes a day, however long that took, but yeah, 200 or 300 a day, makes, yeah.
Was that your focus, to become a better 3-point shooter, and I guess it's
That was one of my main focuses. That was one of my weaknesses coming into college. So, that was a big focus for me last year, and I emphasized it a lot more this year. So I would say, yeah, I spent a lot of time this summer, just getting up a lot of shots and just working on my feet, getting squared and just making sure that I got a good rhythm when I got in the game. No, I've kept it the same. Yeah. It's pretty high. I don't want to. Like Coach told me last game, I didn't want to come in like rushing and trying to force shooting threes. I just stayed confident and just took my chances when I got them. They just told me to stay confident and just to make sure I'm taking the right shots and continue to stay confident in my shot. And I think that's the main thing. Not settling either. When they close out on me harder, which I'm sure they will eventually. Not to settle for threes and just to continue to play my game. I'm hoping we can get to go to the beach. I haven't been to Hawaii, so but it's going to be a long day, But I'm excited to go and see the beach and just see Honolulu and just have a good time with my teammates. I think we know that we're smaller. Last year we relied on Cam Oliver to shot block, so we know that we didn't have to play. It wasn't emphasized as much to play that great defense on the wings and inside. So we knew we had a shot blocker, but we know we're a lot smaller this year. So the main focus for us is to just play hard every possession and rebound and push it in transition.
It's a big win. I feel like we treat every win like it's the same, no matter what team it is. They're a pretty good team, and they're gonna be one of the highest teams in the A10. And you got certain people like Jay Billis and stuff saying that they're a pretty underrated team, but they're really good on the mid-major conference level. On the mid-major level, and you can see they're a good team, disciplined team. They like to share the ball and they trust each other. So being able to go out there and play against a good team like that and be effective and not even still play the first half that well, I think was big for us. Yeah, he did. He brought it up, just to kind of get us motivated a little bit, and they kind of gets under our skin a little bit because, you're on the, as a mid-major, you kind of take that to heart a little bit, but you can't really, focus on what everybody has to say. You got to focus on what you're doing, and you're gonna treat every game no matter who you're playing. You know what I'm saying? D3, D1, mid-major, high, whatever, high major. You're gonna treat every game the same. You don't go out there and play to win. So. To me personally, yeah. I feel like our team is I feel like our team's really good, and I feel like we're still growing. We're still trying to figure everything out. We're still trying to learn how to play together. We're still trying to figure things out. It's still early on. We're 5 games in, and I feel like we can get a lot better. We're far from where we need to be still. But whatever. Everybody's got their own opinion. Whether they think that how good we are. I know how good we are. Coach knows how good we are, and that's all we worry about. Basically there was a comment or whatever that Jay Billis had saying that Davidson was a very underrated mid-major team, and they're probably one of the best mid-major teams and probably the best A10 team, something like that. But whatever. We gonna play because we know what we can do. We gonna play, and we know that what we're capable of, and we can go out there and play with anybody. So everybody's gonna have their own opinion. It's really whatever we focus on what we're doing. So. sure. I mean, just knowing personnel. Like, I mean, if any of y'all come to any of our practices, you see how much, like, Coach goes over detail. Detail's a huge thing for us and Coach. And, from going hours and hours, and they're sending out film to us and individual from the team and what plays they run to the individuals and what they love to do. You know what I'm saying? And we put sheets out on the court, and, you got a big sheet with a list of things each player individually likes to do. Like, if you don't know why you're on the court and what number your guy is and whoever you're guarding, and if you don't know what they're doing or what they like to do or their tendencies, by the time we start to play the game, then you're not really paying attention. Like, there should be no room for error. So just of how much, he takes pride in detail. Drawing fouls was huge because we were settling too much. I think we're a really good dribble drive team. Also, we can shoot the three too, but sometimes, you get kind of reliant on the three whenever you start to hit. Like last game we made, what was it, 17 threes or something like that. So, coming off a game like that, you can kind of get complacent around the perimeter. So I think it was big for us adjusting the second half and, attacking the rim, because Coach came in the locker room and said, we got to attack at the rim, and I think we got into the bonus pretty quickly the second half. So, just trusting what Coach is telling us to do, and, coming out the second half and being aggressive was really big for us.
How do you feel about the shot selection in the first half?
Not so good, including myself. I took a couple questionable shots, and, even right after I shot it, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't have shot that one, So, but that's, you learn from it. Like, you take a shot, and, Coach lets you play through your mistakes, and, as a player that you probably made a mistake. So that's what we did the second half. We just adjusted. So, you just got to come out like we did the second half and just trust your teammates and, trust that you're going to get the ball back, and, that things will fall in place better like the second half.
Josh is probably like the fifth option on this team.
Yeah.
How crazy is that your fifth scoring option?
Yeah. I mean, that just shows you, like, how deep our team is, you know what I'm saying? And it just shows you how much everyone's got a long leash, even though Josh is the fifth option, he's still scoring 17 and shooting 6 threes a game, and, that's big. His confidence level, as a fifth option, his confidence level is through the roof. So that's huge, and that's what we need for all of our players down the line. If you're playing 2 minutes, 20 minutes, 37 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, like, we need everybody's confidence level, like Cody's, like Josh, like Kendall, like Jordan. Like, we need. That's a good thing about Coach. Like, he instills that kind of confidence in everybody, whether you're playing like 2 minutes or 20 minutes, like whatever, just coming in, and Josh stays confident. He as like he told you, he's making 300, 200, 300 shots a day, and he's confident in what he's been doing. So he's been working on it.
What have you seen from just how far he's come along watching him play last year and now what he's doing this year?
Obviously his work ethic. He's in the gym all the time, and his shot, like you said, he's getting in the gym and shooting a lot of shots and making a lot of shots before he leaves. But just his confidence level, like that's one of the biggest things in basketball. Like, if you come in and you're confident, it can really do wonders for real. Like, even just from like Cody, my brother, like, I knew what he could do before he got here, but you have a coach and you have players around you and your staff and your teammates around you that are, telling you what you can. You know what I'm saying? You got the green light, and people are wanting you to do a lot of stuff and want you to do certain things. All it takes a little bit of a push in the back and a confidence and your confidence level up, and it does a lot for you.
You seem more like a slasher last year. Like you shoot that little floater, you seem more of an outside threat from this year.
You talking about me?
No.
For Josh, yeah. Man, it's just him working, like, and that's a good thing. That's just something he's adding to his game, obviously, because he was a slasher, and we had Marcus to be able to shoot, and we had DJ and stuff, so we didn't really need him as much to stand out and shoot threes like that last year, because Marcus was coming off a lot of ball screens and driving, and and then the back cuts were open for Josh, and obviously he's a freshman too, so that's something that you got to work your way into to be able to stick around the perimeter, but. As many shots he's getting up, and Coach knows what kind of work he's been putting in over the summer, and still every single day, even in practice, after practice, I mean, it'd be crazy not to let him sit out there and shoot. And I mean, his work ethic is showing. You know. Say what? He's wearing a fanny pack.
Oh yeah, him and Will had that before the game.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What did they say? He said Davidson gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh. And then. Oh man, I didn't know he was wearing a fanny pack. I gotta check that out. That'd be funny. I didn't get to see it. I think that's a huge thing for us, and I think that's something that we pride ourselves on. And I like to go into the game like, especially guarding their best players, and I like to take on the challenge of guarding the best players every game. And I think that my coaches and my teammates have a lot of trust in me doing that, and I just like getting involved and getting everybody involved and trying to get as many deflections as possible, because then that leads to steals, which leads to transition buckets, and that's something that is really big for us. So it's just coming in. It's just game plan. That's all it is. Say it again. I'm sorry. Yeah, for sure. Coach always emphasizes defense and using our length and our quickness, and that's just since we're a smaller team, that's something that we're gonna have to do every game, is use our length and use our quickness and get deflections and get steals and things like that, and but at the same time being disciplined and knowing personnel. So, and that's what we do every day in practice and out of practice too when it comes to preparation. Right. I really do think that we're clicking. A lot of it has to do with chemistry, and again, a lot of it has to do with preparation. And all of our guys trust each other and play for each other. Nobody's out there playing individually, trying to get stats, trying to get points, stuff like that. I think the biggest thing for us is that no one really cares who's doing well, as long as we win and the outcome is good for all of us. I think that's the biggest thing for us. So. Right. No, not really. I just look at it all the same. Just stop them, make sure they get the least amount of points as possible, make it tough for them every game, and make them work for their shots. Right. I think that helps a lot. Just like Coach said, it doesn't matter who you play on the road. Road games are hard, and it helps us prepare mentally, and that's something that we have to do every time. There's no slacking off, because we have a target on our back now, and I hope that people know that we're good, but that doesn't mean that we're settling either, and that we're gonna get caught, slipping. So we're gonna come ready to play every single game, and we're gonna make sure we prepare for every single game, just like it was a home game or whatever. Like, we got a crowd there, and we're just gonna make sure that we're ready to play every single game. I think so, but like my brother said, that's something that we can't really worry about. We know how good we are, and eventually people are gonna find out. And I say that just because that we work hard and we practice hard and we do everything. Like, we prepare, and we do a lot of stuff, probably more than any other teams in the country when it comes to preparation and preparing for our team. So, and we take it very seriously. So, I think that we're a really, really, really good team. And if people don't think that we are, then I guess they'll just find out. Right. Yeah, I think we're really versatile. A lot of it has to do with our game plan, and our coaching staff spends endless hours on scouting teams and what to do, trying out different methods and things like that. And the biggest thing is that our team buys in, and it shows every single game, because sometimes we invest in the game plan, and then sometimes we catch ourselves backing up from the game plan during the game, and that's when we get a fall off or a drop off, and then we get back together and coach emphasizes it again, and then we start doing it again, and we're like, oh man, like this is the game plan, this is what's working. So a lot of it, like I said, has to do. A lot of it's just preparation and hours and hours of just watching film and watching people and just trusting in our coaching staff.
How impressed are you with the offense?
It's impressive, but I'm not surprised because he puts in the work. I see him all the time. I come in the gym after class, and he's in there shooting. After practice, he's in there shooting. So I know this is a long time coming. He's been putting in the work, endless hours. I see him all the time. It's not. I'm not really surprised at all, honestly.
Is he one of the hardest working guys when it comes to just putting in that time?
Oh yeah, for sure. But that goes along with a lot of our guys too. Everybody on our team ends up getting in the gym some way, somehow. Everybody has different schedules, but we all put in the work, and that's because we all want to succeed, and we all want to see each other do well. And I think that's the biggest thing for our team.
Getting back to the game plan and falling off, was the game plan to go ISO and try and force it to get the line?
Most of the game plan was just getting to the rack. We discussed that they were like last in shot blocking, so we just had to attack the rim and make sure we didn't settle. Of course, there were going to be times that you weren't going to be able to get to the cup, but for the most part, the game plan was just to get to the rack, try to get fouls, and knowing that they were not really a good shot blocking team, just go up strong and just got to finish through contact. I wouldn't say spending more time watching film because they did a lot of film themselves, and we do a lot of film on the road too. But I think we just have a different game plan because with our length and quickness and our guards being so big this year, I think that we just rely a lot on our quickness and length to do a lot for us. And Coach just emphasizes that we have to get steals, get deflections, like I said earlier, and that's what's just going to translate to our offense too. So, thank you.